Hello everyone. Sorry, I'm just getting my camera clicked in, so I apologize for the whooshing around. All right, let's scoot this up. Let me just scoot this back a little bit. YouTube and Facebook have slightly different angles, so you are seeing a bunch of my tools there, which you don't normally see. All right, so I think I need to go a little farther back. There we go. No. My cat Xanthi is here watching, and she's wondering who I'm talking to. So I need to go look at this. So if you're here already, hello, my name is Rachel. If you're watching on the replay, hello, my name is Rachel. I'm going to get going in just a few minutes. I'm just trying to get this on my computer. So I can watch the chat. No. All right, so let's fix this. All right, sorry for that silence. There's a bit of a delay on the Facebook, more than I'm used to, so I apologize for that. As I said right at the beginning, my name is Rachel, and I'm here for Scrapbooking Store's November scrap tutorial. Today I'm using the November 2019 kit, which is made up of Echo Park Paper's Celebrate Autumn. We received the collection kit for the main kit, and then there were quite a few upgrades of embossed butterflies, some layered butterflies and some layered birds, a stamp set, some die-cut feathers. Was that it? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was everything. Woo, yay. I'm also going to be pulling in from my stash some distress oxides, as well as some sequins and a little bit of Nouveau Mousse in a copper color, because I thought that would go really well. My plan tonight is to scrapbook this one photo. It is a 5x7, and also to do a little bit of mixed media. I'm going to do what I call light mixed media, meaning I'm not going to be adding a lot of water, so there isn't any drying time, and it also just is a little bit easier for people who don't like messy things to start off with if someone is interested in doing some mixed media. Yes, my kitty's name is Xanthi. She does enjoy supervisory positions usually when I am scrapbooking. So to start off, I'm going to be putting my layout on this white cardstock. This is Basil Marshmallow. Marshmallow is just a slightly thicker cardstock. I'm not actually using this tonight because it's thicker. Usually this is what I like to do if I'm going to do a lot of mixed media. I may put down a layer of gesso first. This particular time is because I don't have any other not textured white cardstock. So it's one of those things I didn't realize I didn't have any. So hi Claudette, hi Marcy. So when I do mixed media, there are two different things. Either I am planning on doing mixed media for a specific purpose, like I'm going to do tonight. I want to do mixed media for this specific layout. Or sometimes I just want to play. So if I just want to play, I'll get a piece of cardstock and I'll gesso it or I won't gesso it, and I'll just pull out random mixed media stuff I own and I'll just start playing. So like I have this one where I was using some new shimmers products I had. I was doing a couple of different color combinations on this one. And here I was trying out some different blues along with some stencils and some glitter paste. So these are just ones that one day I'll maybe use them as a background for a layout, or I'll cut them up and I will make them into a card background. I don't necessarily have a plan for them. So when I do that, I just start off with the mixed media. When I know I want mixed media and I kind of have an idea of what I like to do, what I like to do before I do the mixed media is actually create what I call my paper and photo portion of my layout. Oh my goodness. My layout. And that is simply because I then don't waste time and product doing mixed media behind where it's going to be covered by the photo and the paper. Xanthi has decided she definitely wants to be in this video. She is laying her head down on the table. She never does this, so I think she knows we are live. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Missy. Hi, Jacinda. I love that name, Jacinda. I don't know why. It just seems very elegant to me. Not that everyone else's names aren't lovely. Everyone's names are lovely. I just feel like when I especially compliment one person, like I'm saying, well, the rest of you are cruddy people. You are not. All right, so the first thing I want to do is I want to map my photo. And not to toot my own horn, but isn't that a fun? I mean, really? How did I, from an airplane window, people, I don't know what I did to be able to get this photo from an airplane window, but wowzers. So when I did my unboxing video for this kit, this is my favorite paper in it, and I definitely wanted to use it. I'm just going to move some stuff off my table that I'm not using right now so I don't knock it off my table, because I guarantee you that is what would happen. Hi, Angie. Right, so, but I was really struck by this paper, and I think I want to make it kind of a feature. So I'd been thinking about this layout and thinking about this photo and just thinking I would really like to do a vertical column and have it be this stripe paper be the center of that column. So if I know this is going to be what's on the main part of my background, I think I like the floral pieces as well. And then I was thinking I'd like to get something darker in there, like a nice contrast. So I've got, let's see what I've got. I've got this yellow, and there isn't a lot of yellow in my photo, so it wouldn't pull too much from my photo. And what else? I've got also this plaid, but the plaid and the stripe next to each other are just a little bit too much. So I think I'm going to bring that one to the side. So I think I like this. And the good thing about this is when I'm mixing colors and patterns, one thing I also like to do is go from a paper that's multicolored to a paper that's tone on tone, and then back to a paper that's multicolored. And that just gives it a really good focus piece, so your eye has a place to rest on this tone on tone before it goes back to the multiple colors. Hey there, everyone. I always feel like I'm doing romper room. Hi, Angie. Hi, Victoria. It's like, I see you through my magic mirror. Was it a magic mirror? I don't remember now. It's been a long time since I've watched that show. Oh, sugar. Before I did that, I did want to map my photo. I do have some scraps. I have been really busy with this collection. I have made a single page layout, which I have a video for up on my YouTube channel. And then I have a double page layout, which will be up on my video on my channel on November 27th. I also made 4 cards, which you can see over on Scrapbooking Store's Instagram. Now see, normally because this plaid reads more neutral than the other plaid, which has a lot more orange in it, I think if I just do a very small mat, it won't pull away too much. And I think I do in fact like that. Now I've got to find my ATG. Oh, there it is. Oh, look, I put it away. There's a shocking thing. For those of you who don't know, yeah, you all see my cat up at the top there. My cat loves the glue from the ATG. So I can't then, use this and then put it up there because she will start to eat it. So I will put that down there because she is cute and all that, but she will eat ATG like nobody's business. All right. Now I am planning on inking up all of my pages, all of my papers. I'm not making more than 1 page. I'm going to ink up all of my papers, and I'm going to use pumice stone distress ink. I have the cubes. Unfortunately, I have completely messed up the cube, so you can't read it, but it is pumice stone, which is a grayish color. Hi, Linda. Hi, Jill. Hi, Dorothy. Sorry if I missed your name. I'm trying to scrapbook. Haha. So, as I'm inking this up, I will tell you, I absolutely adore this photo. I was completely shocked that I got it. As I said, I took it out of an airplane window. So I posted it on Facebook and someone's like, oh my gosh, where is that? I'm like, it's either Western Massachusetts or Northern Connecticut. I do not know which, because I was in an airplane. So coming back from Ohio though, so directionally, I'm pretty sure I am correct as to where that is. And this was in mid-October. So we definitely were experiencing fall. Okay, so this paper, by the way, in case you're interested, is called Pumpkin Farm, which I'm assuming is for the other side. Yes. Sorry, I thought I heard something and there's nobody down here, so that was a little bit confusing. So, my photo is a 5x7. I'm thinking if I do a whole bunch of straight lines up and down, it's going to wind up being too vertical. So what I think I'm going to do, because I don't want the 5-inch stripe to be behind my whole photo. I think I'd like it to be like just the center part, because as I said, I want to add the tone on tone and then the floral piece. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it at 5 inches and then do some paper tearing. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like paper tearing because the concern that you will tear too much or anything like that, I totally understand that. A lot of times if I do that, what I will do is I will tear it against a ruler. So you'll get a little bit of the paper tear, but you won't get the full scariness of a big tear. All right, so now here's one thing I always have to pause because I want the white core to show, and I have to think which side will give me the white core, and I can never remember. So I always have to give it a little bit of a tear. Oh, I chose correctly. Yay. No, I did not. I'm a dork. I did not choose correctly. That's fine. I did not tear enough anyways. So we will do it this way. Oh, sometimes I do dorky things. Well, most times I do dorky things. No, it needs to be this way. I was going to do the exact same thing. Okay. It's a little bit too much white showing. Sorry, I've got to slide this down off the... So we're going to have a little bit more freestyle than I meant for this particular paper. It's fine. Nothing's perfect. And this part actually is going to be under my photo. So thank goodness. Woohoo! Okay, so there we go. And so now we do the other side. And nope. I will always choose the wrong side. It's like when you go to look for something in your purse, you will always put your hand in the wrong pocket first. No matter where you normally keep it, it will always be in the wrong place. Yes, they are very pretty papers. If you watch my unboxing video, I'm always such a little dork about papers. I have always loved paper. So yeah, see, the good thing about the bad part of that is going to be hidden. I'm just going to tear this a little bit more because it looks awkward there at the top. There we go. But the really awkward part will be hidden by the photo. Always a good thing. Someone had mentioned my trimmer. This is a Caterpillar Crop. It's made by the Caterpillar company. They make a big tabletop version too, but I actually don't have a scrap room. I scrapbook in my dining room. So for me, the crop makes a lot more sense. All right, so see, and even though I literally just did this, I will like never remember what the correct direction is. So this one I want it to be for this side, so. Nope, this way. I was right the first time. Just gonna go ahead and tear all my papers first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and ink them up. So, sorry, that paper, did I leave it here? I don't remember what that one is called, but this one is the 4x6 journaling cards. So what I'm actually going to do with this one, because I really like this hedgehog card, I'm going to trim off the bottom portion and then rip into this section because, as I said, I'm a fool for paper, as is my cat. So I'm going to give this to her. Maybe she'll be good for a little bit. All right, yeah. This one got a little messed up, but that's okay. That's what makes it look handmade. But I don't like these peaky things. I'm just ripping this part just to, although actually, because the flowers go every which way, I can just flip it that way and we're good to go. All right, so we have all our papers ripped. I'm just going to very quickly ink them up with pumice. I don't want a lot. I just want enough to separate it from each other. The one fun thing, and it's whether you ink, whether you stitch, whether you outline with a pen, just by adding the ink, it separates the papers so they all stand out from each other, but it also gives a cohesiveness, especially if you're scrapbooking and you are mixing papers from different lines. All right, I am being a very messy scrapper tonight. I've got all this. I'm gonna pull that out. Possibly should have gone ahead and, sorry, this is my first Facebook Live. I am slightly nervous. It's funny because I do YouTube. I have my own YouTube channel and everything, but for some reason, just doing it for Scrapbooking Store, you know, I'm just like, don't mess this up. Don't be a dork. Which is hard for me because I tend to be on the dorky side. All right, we've got that. We have our, nope, that needs to go that way because that one's already over there. All right, so I'm gonna move that just so I don't end up getting ink all over it, and I'll move that so I don't end up getting ink all over that. Okay, breathe. So what I'm going to do is run my ATG around either end, and then we're gonna go with the tone on tone, and I'm just gonna line this up using the lines on my mat. I don't want too much showing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want it, yeah. So I want it out on my photo slightly larger than my actual photo. Sorry, lining up things and talking at the same time, not easy. Hi everyone, Bonnie, Mammy Jammy. Sorry, love the name. Nancy, thank you. All right, so yeah, I want to flip these over because I want to get rid of these. See which one looks better on which side. This is the side that is inked. So where's my photo? There's my photo. Yes, that is exactly what I'm looking for. Yay. And I know the yellow comes out on one side and it doesn't come out on the other, and that's totally okay. Like I said, when you're going for this type of look, because everything else is going to be, I've got the stripes in there, and the photo is so segmented between the sky and then where you can see just the trees, and then when you see the town, I want a little bit of chaos. I want, when I make a grid layout, I like to start placing just a couple of my embellishments over a line so it doesn't necessarily read as a grid. So, not that it doesn't read as a grid, but it doesn't read as a strict grid. I usually call it like a loose grid or a messy grid. Okay. And I possibly should have replaced my ATG before I came on to do a live video. Hopefully, I think I'm pretty much done with it, so hopefully I shouldn't run out. Okay, so I've built my paper and photo. Hi Stephanie, hi Deborah, hi Elizabeth. I've built my photo and paper portion, as I said, because I don't want to waste my mixed media Not just like waste the actual thing, but just waste the time spending doing it. So I know that my papers and photo are going to cover that. So what I do is I come in with a pen or a pencil, it doesn't matter because you're not going to see it, and I just make a mark underneath. And I make sure to go well underneath in case I shift it just a little bit. So I know I don't need to do any mixed media in that central part. Also, when you do mixed media under the papers, it then makes it a little bit harder to sorry, I was getting these. It makes it a little bit harder to attach your paper thing. You have to just do a little bit more to it. All right, so I have here some blending brushes. These are the ones you get on Amazon. They are marketed towards for makeup. So I don't do mixed media and or, well, yeah, I guess mixed media would be the word for it, to warrant spending more money. What you do with your money for your scrapbooking or card making supplies is completely up to you, and I have zero judgments on it. These are distress oxides. I have spiced marmalade and antique linen. Now, antique linen in distress ink is more used for edging or for antiquing. In the distress oxide, I find it makes a very convincing yellowy tan. So I like to use it. Now, when using these and using the blending brushes, I find the easiest thing to do is to start where you can't see it, because that's where it's going to be the darkest, and that's where I found that's where I like it the least. So I'm just gonna come in and I'm just doing some soft swirls. I just wanna get a little color. And then I'm gonna come in down here at the bottom. And like I said, you won't see any of this. So all you're going to see is the edges. I find most often that the edges of things are the prettiest, unless you're going whole hog and you're going to cover all of it. When you're just doing stuff like this, the edges of the items are the prettiest. So a lot of people always say, oh, my stuff always looks super, super awful. This looks super, super awful. The point is that you continue. You know, you keep going, because once you keep going, you're going to find you end up liking it in the end. Because as I said, it's not the beginning, it's the ending that really ends up looking awesome. Now, this is really quieter than I wanted. I think I put away the other one I was going to use. So hold on one second. And no. All right. I think I'm just going to add some candied apple, which is a little bit redder than I was planning on, but I cannot find my carved pumpkin. So we'll just make sure we start here. And so we'll only come out with a little bit. And same thing up here. That's probably a little bit more than I meant, but that's okay. And so I'm going to do one more section. I'm just going to bring it in, I think, all the way up here. So like I said, that's a word. Like I said, I don't have any type of ink to antique. What would you recommend? I love to do vintage. So you're looking specifically to antique. So the Distress Inks by Tim Holtz or the Distress Oxides. The oxides have a softer color, and then if you add a little bit of water to them, they get a little lifty, same as the Distress Inks. But a lot of people I know who do mixed media, or they do antiquing journaling, they do like the Distress ink line. Especially I think there's one called Vintage Photo and Antique Linen and stuff like that. And oh my gosh, I'm looking for something and it's not there at all. So, see, just wanted a little bit. I do think I want a little bit more over here. And it's so funny because when you look at it, you're looking at it going, oh gosh, that's a lot of stuff there. And then I actually ended up needing to add a little bit more. And so it didn't take very long. It was just a few minutes. And it doesn't really, it just adds a little effect to the background. And if someone's asking, my cat's name is Xanthi. She does enjoy supervising. I said this at the beginning, but I know people have joined us part of the way through. So here is, you know what? I think I glued my photo down crooked. Ha ha! That is not an abnormal thing for me. That's why I actually really like using the ATG, because you do have a little bit of time before it becomes completely permanent. Just trying to line this up. There we go. And this is a bit much. I will fully admit I'm not in love with that right now, but that just gives us a place to embellish. And there isn't a lot of red elsewhere, so I think what I'm going to do, I did not do the red far enough over. I just want to curve it more than anything because I really wanted that to be kind of curvy, and do that here. That was dangerous for me because that's where I end up messing up and then making my... Aww. What kind of dog do you have, Barbara? My dog is upstairs. I have two, actually. They're both upstairs. My housemate is keeping them because they would be, I have a Schnauzer and a Schnauzer Yorkie mix, and they like to what I call tap dance around. And whenever I do these lives or I'm doing a voiceover, they wander because they're like, who are you talking to? You have a Chihuahua. My friend has Chihuahuas and Poms. So Chihuahuas, Poms, and then she has a Pomwawa? Is that what they're called? A Pomeranian Chihuahua mix. They normally just stays right there. Unless like I've got like my glue out right here and then she's like, yeah, sorry lady, we are definitely going to be all up in your business now. Okay. So we've got the main part down. Now it's time for titling and embellishing and journaling. So woohoo! Half the battle is won. All right, so before I started filming, I actually took the stamp set. This is the One Canoe 2 Twilight acrylic stamps. There are 19 of them and they are layered stamps. And I went ahead and using the Distress Oxides, and then I did also take the antique linen to the edges because I fussy cut them out. I find with fussy cutting, by inking the edges of that, it kind of hides any errors you may have made that you feel uncomfortable with. So my thinking is to kind of just have my embellishments come down the sides here. So I've got those, and I've got the feathers that came in the upgrade for November. And I'm thinking I made a bunch of them. I don't necessarily need to use all of them. That was just, it was just easier for me to make them all. Don't even get an idea. And And then I'm thinking my title is going to go right here, and then my journaling, I'm thinking right over here. But see, if I just run some feathers over there, you can't even tell how not awesome my stamping job was right there. Boston Terriers. That is an ATG. It is by Scotch Advanced Tape Glider. You can get these at Michael's or on Amazon. I get the refills. I don't use the Scotch refills. I find these are, what do you call them? Generic. That's the word I'm looking for. These are the generic ones that are sold. I think it's on Tape Jungle. Yes, if you're going to buy this from, if you're going to buy one from Michael's, you definitely want to use a coupon because they're not super pricey, but they're not cheap. But it's kind of one of those things where you invest for the long run. All right, sorry, I just want to make sure I have room for my journaling. This is actually a 3x4 card that I fussy cut out before we started, because if there's like literally two things that are really boring to watch on video doing a live. One of them is fussy cutting and the other is stamping. And I know this from personal experience, and I will never do that to any other living human being ever again because it's just not good. All right, so I'm thinking I actually like it over here because then the happy fall comes out over here. I think I like it right there. I need another, do I have another flower? Where did all my flowers go? There they are. So these die cuts that came in the upgrade, they are from Studio Calico. I think I want that like actually right there. And then I need one last one, and I think I'll put that right there. Now I did not use the best paper for this. I should have used a better paper to stamp these on. Yeah, Marcy, like so the framing supply place, that is another place you can get the generic for the ATG. For the rest of these, I'm just going to use my liquid glue simply because it is simple just to lift it up a little bit and put some glue down. I know I'm gonna get asked about the glue. This is Art Glitter Clear Glue. It was originally made to use with glitter, which is why it's called Art Glitter. It is not glitter glue. It is simply clear glue. It is very clear. It is very strong. For those of you who like the Scotch Quick Dry, it's very similar to that. It's just a little more loose. So I like that, especially if you like to use cut files, if you like to use sequins, because, and I'll show you because I'm actually going to use some sequins. It takes just a slight bit longer to dry. It's still quick dry. It still dries pretty quickly. But, sorry, stop talking there. But I just like it more than the Scotch. I like the drying time better. I like the fact that you can put glue on the back of a cut file and it allows you some time to get it in place. If there's some overrun outside, it dries completely clear. So that's always good. Yeah. Yeah, this is really great glue. So you can get it with a tip, and then it comes with a stainless steel pin so it doesn't clog. And this, I actually have a larger one, and then I pour it into this one. And I bought mine on Amazon. So I don't think I'm going to use those, and I'm not going to use those. I am going to add a couple of butterflies, and I don't think the bird's going to work. I wanted to add a bird because this is taken from the sky and birds are in the sky, and that's how my brain likes to work. Association. I'm just trying, it's so funny because I'll just slap stuff down, but then certain things, it'll be like, no, that has to be under that, but over that, and there you go. And then let's rip that off accidentally because you're a dork. These butterflies are so pretty. They're embossed and they're on foam. I think I want the peach one, and I left spots for them, that's why. There we go. And I think that one should go there, and then I just want one more, and I think it's gonna be this dark one, and I think we're gonna put him right there. There we go. Okay. Now, I don't want to add more, but this is my conundrum. Do I add a bird, or you know what? I think I am going to add a bird, because if I add another butterfly, I don't think that'll go really well. So if I add a bird, by the way, I totally have these conversations with myself. It has nothing to do with y'all being here. It's totally me. And I actually really like this really big bird. And I like the fact that he's facing in this direction. Yes, I like that quite a bit. It also brings another heavier element down to the bottom here. I am not going to add another bird though. I think one bird is enough because we've got the feathers to indicate birdishness. All right, let's do our title. So I've been thinking off and on about the title and trying to come up with something that works. And finally it dawned on me, I can just go with fall is in the air, because I'm in the air and it's fall. That is the level of my humor. There you are, ladies. You have got me. Oy vey, sometimes. So I have these pink paisley again and again, wood grain, mini alphas. They are on pink foam with a chipboard covering. And these are I really do love these kind where they are you get the shininess of the chipboard, but you get the stickiness of the foam. All right, so I'm going to work my title backwards. So I also have a whole bunch of these freckled fawn tile alphas, and I think I like the cranberry ones, but I also like the dark teal. Yeah, I think we're gonna go with the dark teal. I like the font better. So I'm thinking fall and air in the puffy ones, and then will be in the freckled fawn one. So let's start with air. And air is spelled A-I-R. Oh, sorry, that's just a little joke for me because I'm a dork. Okay, I need to line this up. I'm gonna pull out this centering ruler. This is from Thickers. I bought mine at Tuesday morning, but it will bug me to death if this isn't lined up. So I am super excited because my December scrapbooking store kit should be reaching me before too long. And I kind of they've talked about what we will be receiving, and I'm ridiculously excited. So, and it's funny because the company they're using is someone's, not a company I necessarily use all that often. Not because I don't like it. I love it. I kind of feel like I don't necessarily live up to the gorgeousness of their papers and my, you know, look, it's my cat or type photos. So, all right, so I need to stop talking for 2 seconds because I need to think of the words. Is, in, the. So let's start with in because it's the center. That one did not want to cooperate. Let's start with the end. Okay. I, N. Yeah, I think we found a third thing to add to stamping and fussy cutting on live is long titles. I probably should have had these prepped. I'm sorry, guys. And I'm not lining this up because what I'm just doing is matching it up over the I. These do not want to come up. That's fine. I'll just glue them down. I'm not fussy. We'll just add a dot of glue there and a dot of glue there. Now I just have to make sure I actually spell it correctly since I'm sticking it down with permanent glue. And I got a little glue on the front, but it's fine. Like I said, this glue will dry completely clear. No worries on that. Ooh, these do not want to come up with the stickers attached. That one did. Oh, yeah. I was thinking about using these. You're talking about these. I know when you mentioned that, I was like, oh, thank heavens, because I only bought one pack and then I severely regretted that I only bought one pack. So when you said that we were getting those in the upgraded kit, I was like, oh, see, they do like me. Not the scrapbook, just like, you know, random people in general. So I'm almost done here. I'm just going to do this, and then I'm not going to do my journaling on the camera because, oh, you want to talk about the most boring thing on the planet? That would be journaling on camera, for me anyways. All right, so I ended up, this is not super, because I forgot this only has 2 letters and this has 3. That's okay. I will just make sure I embellish something right there to make up for that. And that's the good thing about scrapbooking is if you make a mistake, there is almost always a way to fix it. So the only thing with these, the chipboard alphas under the foam, is you have to be careful when you pick them up because if you bend them, like you can normally bend fall ones, the top portion will crack. It's not so bad with these small ones, but when you have, sorry, since they mentioned it, I will talk about these. With these ones, these are the same. They're foam underneath, and then they have the thin chipboard on top. So when you peel them off, just be sure not, like, be careful when you peel them off. Don't bend them up like you would normally do with a foam thicker. I mean, they're gorgeous because, as I said, they stick like a foam thicker, but they have the shininess of a chipboard thicker. Okay. We've got the title. So all I'm going to do now, as I said, is add some sequins. Now, some of you know me, some of you don't. A couple of my friends showed up, so big thank you to you guys because you're awesome to support me in my hour of freaking out. I was never a sequin user. I found them bothersome and annoying, and they would get everywhere, and I solved that all with this super awesome jewel picker. This one happens to be by Marvy. I'm not saying this is the only one you should ever get, but if you're someone who has difficulty with sequins or jewels, I don't remember what else other people use them for, but I highly recommend getting a jewel picker or one of those picker-uppery things. It has changed my idea and mind towards sequins. I find them much easier to use now. So what we're going to do, and as I said, this is why I like the art glitter glue, because I'm just gonna lay down a line of glue and then I'm gonna follow it with the sequins. If I did this with my Scotch Quick Dry, the ones at the bottom would be dry before I got to them, because that's how quick it dries. So if you're looking for super quick to dry glue, Scotch, I think they call it tacky glue now, but it is the same formula as what used to be called the Quick Dry. So I start with just like, and then we'll put a couple on that one. I just start with, you know, a bit, and then I'll put the sequins down, and then if I don't like them, I will add more. That one I put upside down, so that's my own fault. And the only thing I try to make sure I do is that I don't use the same colors. So if I happen to pick up a sequin that's the same color as the one I just put down, I'll just skip where I put them. Put that one down upside down. And like I said, the cool thing is this glue dries incredibly clear. So if there's glue coming through the hole or anything like that, it will dry absolutely clear. Right, so does anyone have any questions? Like I said, I'm almost done here. So if you had any questions about something I did here or something I said and then got off track, if you have any questions about Scrapbooking Store at all, I am a new design team member, so I may not be the best one to answer, but there are wonderful ladies here who are more than willing to answer any questions you might have. Oopsie. All right, let me get my 3. I think I want a brown, a copper, come on, turn around, there you go, and a gold. And if anyone's wondering, these are very old sequins that I bought at a random scrapbooking store in New Hampshire. So, and I'm talking like 5 or 6 years ago. So I have no idea who they are by or where you could get them now. I think I want to add a couple more up by my title. Like do another 3. And then I'm going to do another 2 down by the bird. And I think that will complete my layout. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. I had so much fun. As I said, I was quite nervous, which is, I know, it's silly. As I said, I have a YouTube channel and they shared the link to that. So if you want to come over and see what I normally do, which is basically exactly this, except I don't normally do a lot of lives. I do 1 a month on my channel. Will this page go into an album? Yes, it absolutely will go into an album. It will go into my 2019 album. I took this on an airplane coming back from my cousin's wedding in Ohio in the middle of October. And I was just struck by the gorgeousness of all of the New England area. As I said in the beginning, I don't know if some people may not have seen, I took this photo outside of an airplane. So it's somewhere over either Western Massachusetts or Northern Connecticut. And I was shocked that I got this photo. Because normally you get like the window glare, or there's a piece of the wing or anything like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what happens. But that is, you know, the breaks of taking a photo outside of the airplane, inside of the airplane. So I was totally shocked when I got this photo. All of my photos eventually make it into an album. It's like one of the worst things I am at is putting layouts into albums. But I have pet albums. I have where all my pet layouts go. I have me growing up, and then I have my best friend who's also my housemate. I have very small albums so far of her growing up, and then I just have yearly life. So you do an album for 2018. Usually it's like an album and a half once I finish all my layouts, but I don't scrapbook in order, so I don't bother putting anything in the current year into an album until I finish scrapbooking that year. So I still actually have all of my 2018 out because I have 3 layouts left to make for 2018 once I finish those 3 layouts, and those will be finished by the end of this year. I am going to go back and I'll just put all of those into an album. I'm sorry, I just hit the cord for my camera, so I apologize. Okay. All right, ladies, that is going to be my album for today. My layout for today. Thank you guys so much for, oh, sorry, I'm laughing because yes, I see that is my cat Xanthi. Thank you guys so much for joining me and Xanthi while I scrapbook this layout using the November 2019 Scrapbooking Store scrapbooking kit. Trying to make sure I didn't forget the word scrapbooking. I really enjoyed this. This is my first kit with them. I made a single page layout that was on the blog. I made a double page layout that will be on my YouTube channel and up on the Facebook page on the 27th. I also made 4 cards, and I gave 2 away. Like I mailed them to people, but I don't know where I did with the other 2. I might have actually put them away already. Otherwise, I would show them to you. But they are over both on Scrapbooking Store's Instagram as well as my Instagram. So I am going to say good night to you all. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're here watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. All right, ladies. Good night. Xanthi says good night too. All right, for those of you still watching, you're gonna get a little crazy because I'm gonna take the camera out of the cradle. Bye.